Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek, joined today by my good buddy Ditaku.
I am not, in fact, actually Joe or Tiger
That's
or
true.
Tiger Joe.
And because we are apparently making friends with like every VN author on the internet, one at a time, and they always give us two names. Two names keep coming up in these discussions, and it's always Doki Doki Literature Club and Katawa Shoujo. And it's like, okay, the hype version has only taken us so far. Maybe it's time for us to see what the fuss is. Now, here's the thing. We know what the twist is. We are well aware of the twist. You guys spoiled the twist years ago when the game was brand new.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's
I just,
no
I hate to say it.
surprises to really look forward to, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I hate to say it. This is kind of akin to, Undertale when people are like, you gotta play it like in a pacifist run and, not understanding that saying that basically you've spoiled the entire ultimate twist of your beloved game.
Yes, you have literally spoiled
So,
everything, and like the Monica memes were everywhere. Like it was unavoidable. Like even if you had no interest, which initially I didn't. Initially I had zero interest at all because I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
you can
it's
blame me.
yet another game that's doing the thing that Off did years before, but not as good as Off.
Yeah, ultimately, actually, you can blame me for this because I thought about it literally yesterday, and I was like, Snack, we're not playing any VNs right now. We really should play this. Everyone we talk to says
Keeps
we need to
bringing
play
it
this.
up.
So,
So yes, we
and
are
I've actually been
playing
playing through it myself.
We are
So,
playing the free version. There is a plus edition, which apparently has more content, but this is a risk on my part, and I don't get to write off Steam purchases on my taxes, so we are doing the free edition on Steam of the Ditaku Literature Club. And this game is not suitable for Jimmy Jimmies and Sally Sallies, or those who are weak of heart or weak of butt.
hey
That
man,
is that is our
hey
takeaway
man,
here.
I'm not your dad. I'm your cool uncle. You know,
That's totally fair, actually.
you, Jimmy.
Individual suffering from anxiety or depression. Oh, so this rules us out. We have to stop right here. Sorry, everyone. That was a short Let's Play, but no, I'm kidding. Go to
Good
there.
game, good game.
Go to there for content warnings because I'm not giving you any. Deal with it.
7.8 out of 10. Could use more water.
Needs more water. A running gag. I like it. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you're at least 13 years of age. Yes. That's fine. I have played way more messed up stuff than this.
I'm pretty sure that,
Oh, that is loud.
you have played like Cooking Mama.
Okay, let's. Holy moly, that's loud. Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to think of the things that you play that are way more messed up than this.
I play horror games all the time. Like, they'd have to go to some pretty debaucherous levels to offend my sensibilities at this point.
I could think of a few, and I'm like, he's not going to play those. And I mean, I wouldn't blame you.
I don't feel like getting demonetized. I worked hard for that status. And you know what? If BBW Giantess Dating Action did not get me demonetized, then darn it, I think I'm in a pretty safe spot. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air. She's totally oblivious to the attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you know each other so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But since she's acting like this, I almost feel better off running away. I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk unless Sayori keeps catch up to me. Ha ha. I overslept again. Well, maybe you need to stop staying up till 1 a.m. doom scrolling on Twitter. How about that? That's
I'm
my...
not doom scrolling on Twitter. I'm a pro gamer.
Oh god, it's somehow worse. You're actively moving backwards, evolutionarily speaking.
League of Legends, man. I'm gonna go pro.
Oh no, it keeps getting worse. I'm sorry, Sayori. I have to put you down now. Caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that you were thinking about ignoring me. Yeah, right now, I only know the girls by appearance and the meme. And honestly, you're at the bottom of the totem pole, Sayori.
So I was gonna say, like, things that, you know, Snek would never do for, in actuality, for 500, Alex.
Wait for someone?
No, I was just gonna be mean to a girl.
No, I can't. I can't. I'm too much of a soft touch. Like, being mean to people is not in my nature, even though there's some days I really wish it was. That's mean, Snek. People stare at you for acting weird, and I don't want them to think you're a couple or something. Fine, fine. You did wait for me after all. Guess you don't have it any to be mean, even if you want to. Hey. No need to call me out like that. I just confessed to it, okay? Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Snek, have you decided on the club to join yet? Club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any. That was actually Snek in high school. The less amount of time I could spend at school, the better. Haven't been looking either.
But, Professor, you now dost protest too much. I know that you were part of the club because I was in a club with you.
You were really part of the club, and I would join you on occasion. You were way more active there than I was.
The German club?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was just a fun time to, you know, do cool things. We did a lot of arts and crafts for whatever reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's because we had really cool teachers, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, actually, I was looking through our nice dishes and was like, my parents still have the steins that I did glass etching over there. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations, where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sarah likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Ooh, hashtag relatable. Uh-huh.
I have a YouTube channel. It's called, you know, the Hipsters.
Just
the hipster hair.
Ugh, that's rubbing salt in the wounds if there was one.
And there's, you know, every April Fool's, every Labor Day, I have to do a new special whereupon the Hipster Snek comes by and tries to do awful things to my poor boy.
The irony. Let's talk about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Joke's on you, I'm on the spectrum. I've never learned to socialize. That's why I live on YouTube, because I can't make it in the real world.
He lives on YouTube. Yeah, like, you know, off the freeway, you know, to the desert.
Yep. The desert of ads.
Ooh, it's hard.
It's where the desert adders live.
You're a Gadsden adder.
Your happiness is really important to me, you know? I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you coming in neat in a few years because you're not used to the real world. For those who don't know, that's not employed, educated, or in training. Which means you're a useless layabout in the parasite class.
Well, it's kind of assumed that you're a shut-in. You're kind of a social recluse, too.
Yeah, but you're not trying to actively change it, kind of thing.
Problem being, that's most people now. Thanks.
Because everything is shot, yes.
Yes.
You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll get a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises.
I trust you, silly. Okay, I was going to say something really rude there.
These promise you'll try a little.
One here.
Yeah, why not?
I was going to say, trust you like a bullet to the brain. But, that seems a little bit rude. We only just met her.
That's true. We can't be too mean to her, but she is objectively worst waifu, so, I mean, there's that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my wife kills her anyway, doesn't matter what route.
So that's kind of funny.
I'm relatively certain.
We have that to look forward to.
I mean, see, the problem is you haven't really chosen, girl to be your best girl. We can't really compare notes.
Apart from the meme, I haven't had incentive to learn names or characters just yet, so this is going to be a learn as we go kind of experience. Yeah, I guess I'll probably do that. Yay. I don't let myself
when it comes up, I guess we can talk about it.
That's true. Why would I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. Just seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to use her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head.
Ooh.
School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. Pack up my things and stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I prefer, diamonds or spades, but I guess clubs are fine. Because I have no choice for the start.
Did you know that in the Southern European countries, they actually have a different 4 set of suits?
Yeah, isn't it like swords and cups?
Swords, cups, coins, and I forget what the other one is. But yeah, basically it's the 4 that the Tarot use.
Okay.
So.
All right,
that's your, trivia for the day. So.
I think I made a shout out to that in Amazing Quest 3, funny enough. The ostriches were angry because there was no suit of playing cards for ostriches. That was their motivation for taking over Loyrol's house.
Knowing us, there's going to be one guy who's going to show up and is going to comment and be like, "Oh yeah, Amazing Quest 3, I love that stuff."
The one guy who knows what we're talking about.
Hey man, it's like the one time we started Amazing Quest 1, there was a guy who showed up and he was like, there are a couple of people actually that were commented.
I remember this. Like, oh god, no, please. Please stop.
Wait, what? People actually read this?
Yeah, that was a bit of a wake-up call for us. Hello, Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realized I'm the only one left in the classroom. Thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, so you're just sitting here and spacing out. So I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. I think you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? You can come join my club. Sayori, yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club, which means that they just read stories about minotaurs and centaurs and untoward things they do towards comely maidens. I would want no part of that.
No, see, this is the reason why then you start bringing in things like, Robert Heinlein or, like Ayn Rand, and then
start trying to radicalize them.
Yeah, you radicalize them the opposite way.
Oh, that has potential.
So then there's, instead of talking about like strange monsters, they're talking about like the will to power and radical individualism.
Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. I'm 99% certain she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. And she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club. She inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I'd bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Hey, don't make promises you can't keep. Can't tell Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I'll let out a long sigh. She's gaslighting you. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay?
Oh no, am I being groomed again?
I mean, it kind of seems like it, right? I mean, to be fair, baked goods are a weakness of mine, so that probably would be my real life reaction to the situation. It's like,
It's true,
fine, you have
ladies.
cupcakes. I will stop by.
It's true. What you need to do if you want to capture a snack is you have one of those, cartoon baskets, and then you put a stick to prop up the basket, and then you have a cupcake underneath.
You
That's
have
how
a
you
string
capture
tied
snacks.
to the stick so that when something goes under the basket, you yank the stick and the basket drops.
Yes.
Yes, let's go. Thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, the section of the school I rarely
Well,
visit, being generally used for third-year
if
classes and activities.
it makes you feel better, computer, game snack. Most people will give away their private personal banking information for a candy bar, so
The average
you're
person
actually
is,
game ahead.
yeah, in a way, you're kind of ahead of the curve. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member's here. Told you, don't call me new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Snek, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. I mean, they're alright. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry? Natsuki. Humph. The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year? She was also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki.
Okay,
Well,
so this is going to be my thing. This is going to be my prediction, all right? This is going to be my detailed prediction, which means it's probably true.
Okay.
Natsuki is going to be a third year, and the other girl, Yuri,
Yuri, yeah.
yeah, she's going to be a first year, even though she seems to be way taller than everyone else,
Right.
and quote unquote mature. That's going to be this is my prediction. Because it's going to be the thing of like, you're so short and small. Oh, but I'm the oldest one in the club.
Because, what's old is new and what's old is also old.
And then there's, Yuri is going to be like, but I'm so mature and everyone expects me to be mature even though I'm, so young. I have, my dying grandmother was like, you have to remain a lady. Or something like that.
Well, it's nice to meet both of you. Sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Snek. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. Having her smiling
You
is
just
so
need to
genuinely
Hipster meme now. Are you aware of that one?
Which one?
It's the one where the Dokes, the one investigator, is just staring straight into Dexter's face. He's like, I know what you are.
Oh, yes. I know.
See, this is the problem. We already know the twist, guys.
Yeah, it's like, it kind of undercuts everything because, like, the shock factor was apparently supposed to be part of the equation, but it's not going to be, at least not for us. And if you're at home and somehow don't know, I mean, I won't tell you, but how did you find my channel and not have this knowledge contemporaneously? I'm dying to know.
Yeah, this was like a huge deal about 4 years ago.
Right.
My main thing is the fact that the entire twist of this, like, Fate Extra did this already, like 15 years ago, but I guess because it wasn't officially ever brought over. I mean, really, honestly, that's BB's entire thing, if you must know.
Yeah.
Professor. In the original game, BB was just a NPC who would help you occasionally. And then it turns out, oh, JK, this one NPC that heals you and gives you a bunch of information and acts like your sweet, little sister slash school doctor.
Right.
It turns out she's actually the one manipulating the entire, Moon Pale War.
That seems about right.
But, it's, shrug.
Having her smiling so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come, sit down, Snek. I made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, got a little too excited. How about I make some tea as well? There's a few desks right before the table.
I have a, I already suspect I know who you're going to go for. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Okay, based on first impressions, Yuri is the cutest. So...
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. The cool, mature, full mature looking one.
Jitaku,
is,
we have known each other 25 years. We are kind of on to each other's game.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. And also, why'd you have to say it like that, man?
I looked down at my PC clock and I was like, oh my god, it's been 25 years.
Well, that's over half my life.
Yep.
It's like 2/3 my life.
We have gone more of our lives knowing each other than the leg of our lives not knowing each other.
That is true facts.
As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Oh, I was expecting it to give me a prompt there, but okay. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table.
That would be a thing, like...
Right. Player input. I don't know, it could be a linear visual novel except for a few decision-making. I mean, it depends on how they designed it, to be honest. There's Omo Neko where things can branch in a couple different ways, and then there's like Abby Longin for ya where it is literally just the story and there's no decisions to be made at all. So, VNs are a spectrum.
Sorry, my sibling just showed up and they are carrying a kitten.
Oh, okay.
A very small kitten. So
I don't know where my kitten is presently, and that makes me a little nervous.
I thought he was sitting on you like a parrot.
No, Sir Dash was chilling out on my chair. He hopped down a few minutes ago, and I don't know where little Miss Dolly Purton has gotten herself off to. Not knowing where she is makes me particularly worried, because I never know what she's going to get up to. She is 6 months old, and so she's in her Velociraptor phase.
Fun times. Well,
Natsuki proudly marches... Yeah. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lets the foil out the tray and reveals a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute!
Oh, that's cute.
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. That sounds adorable. Hey, well, Sorry, and take one. Sorry grabs one first, then Monica, and I follow. It's delicious.
Well, I guess what we're doing for Snacking with Snek after, the common ramen pizza.
I'd be okay with doing kitty cat cupcakes. I'll have to buy a cupcake tray, but other than that, I think I have everything. Sorry talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking up for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki's quiet. Can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Baka. I thought you technically did.
This is gonna be my anime historian, for all you Jimmy Jimmies and Timmy Timmies. The modern, basically, we can't say that it's the, where Tsundere was invented because, I hate to tell you this, but tsundere is kind of a thing that just is an aspect of human interaction. Some people will just be like that. But the modern conception of tsundere actually comes from the Japanese novel Suzuka, you must know. The heroine Suzuka is where we get a lot of that, and I'm pretty, if I recall correctly, the entire "It's not like I like you, baka" actually is one of the things she says.
Okay,
So,
I mean, that checks out.
yeah.
I thought you technically did, so you already said, well, maybe. Not for, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully
Is
places
there
the
any,
teacup.
any other type of logic, really?
I mean, not really. Not outside of Bobobo world. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us. Majide time. We're setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. Keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I can at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. What made you consider the literature club? I was bullied into it. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. I haven't joined any clubs yet, so I seem really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. Let me sure you feel right at home, okay? It is really interesting. The only character who is turned to face directly towards the camera head-on is Monica. All the others are standing slightly askance in terms of relation to their viewpoint character.
It's almost like she's not looking at the character Snek. It's almost like she's looking at something else.
I know, crazy, right?
Almost like she's interested in something else.
I know, right? I'm looking at the ugly 2 out of 10 Snek on the other side of the monitor.
What? Huh?
Wait, what? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. Why have you decided to start your own club? You'd probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Were you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget, and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. If it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all that effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But to make school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. There's different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica must worked really hard just to find these 3. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Snek, what kind of things do you like to read?
Seriously, Okay, Professor, what do you like to read?
I have all sorts of stuff that I like. I'll say my favorite novel is Jurassic Park. Like, the movie is great. Don't get misunderstand me. The movie is fantastic, but the novel is even better. The Lost World sucked. Don't bother reading it. It's 125 pages of nothing happening.
Yeah, I honestly, having read the novel, it is very good and it's very different. The movie is kind of a thriller. The book is very clearly supposed to be a horror story.
Yeah,
in a
definitely.
Kind of like slow train wreck that you're oh no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Why did you guys do that?
Everything you did was wrong.
Yes.
One of my favorite writers is I have a lot of those. If you guys want a fun recommendation, you guys should check out Dave Barry's nonfiction works. His stuff is hysterical. Some of it's a little dated now because it is based on current events at the time, but like his stuff is really consistently hilarious. His stuff's really, really good.
I enjoyed his stuff.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Really consistently solid.
Yeah.
I love the classics. I actually have a compilation of the works of H.G. Wells. His stuff is really good. For all you baboos out there, he was the one who wrote The Time Machine and popularized the understanding of time travel as we have it in modern sci-fi.
No, not just A Time Machine. He also wrote War of the Worlds. He wrote a couple. He actually is where the modern understanding of the battle tank actually came from. In one of his short stories, he described a war vehicle that was basically like an armored soup dish upside down that was covered in guns that would be able to wade through the battlefield. He was a visionary, to be sure.
Absolutely. Isaac Asimov is also a really good sci-fi author, and he was a studying theologian. I highly recommend Isaac Asimov's Guide to the Old and New Testament. My mother gave me copies of those books when I was a kid, and they were absolutely fascinating. His insight into them.
Foundation series?
Say again?
Have you read his Foundation series?
I'm sure I have at one point or another, but I was probably in middle school, so I really don't remember.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I haven't read it in years either, but I read it about 10 years ago. Very good. Del Riose, man. You didn't deserve it.
And if you want more contemporary stuff, God, I mostly read old stuff, don't I?
You're saying that to a historian who focuses on, classic Greek philosophy and Christian apologetics from like the 3rd century. So,
right. I guess like a lot of my modern reading is closer to like comedy light novels and a couple manga series I follow. I really should hit the books more than I do, I'll be honest.
Man, you need to read Robert Heinlein. That's what I'm telling you. You like Asimov. You would love Heinlein.
Sounds like a win to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gifted him Starship Troopers about 10 years ago. I think he's read about a third of it since.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of my reading time is done on my lunch breaks at work, and half the time that is also Snek nap time because I have severe sleep apnea and I'm just perpetually always exhausted. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be fixed soon, though. I should have things scheduled for a actual sleep study soon. So that should be fun.
I mean, interest of fairness, yes. I agree, understand. Hopefully that does get fixed. That it does suck. I suppose I should air my dirty laundry then, too.
Sure.
Frank Herbert's Dune is my favorite book. Absolutely lovely. I don't really like most of the sequels.
Right.
But the original series, the original setting is just so weird and fascinating. I love it. Absolutely a fan of Asimov. I love his Foundation series. I love his Robots trilogy. So good. Especially considering that he sets up the laws of robotics, and then basically it's like, how can I break them, basically? Which I think is just so fascinating. And if we're talking about classic literature, big fan of Ivanhoe. Love that story. And I actually, one of the things, see, here's the thing, I actually was homeschooled for a couple of years. And instead of reading a lot of Shakespeare, I read Miguel Cervantes' Don Quixote.
Okay.
And I'm told that it's dry and bad. And I had a blast with it, actually. I thought it was very entertaining. And I definitely recommend it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That should give, us,
I
that
mean,
should give
I don't
all you Jimmies out there some good recommendations.
Yeah, I don't recommend that you all read like the Timaeus and the Critias, or like the Plato's Republic or Origin or the things that I read now, because, well, that's I have trouble with it, and I'm someone who's like neck deep in this stuff.
Right.
I don't want to frustrate you all.
Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering.
Oh, come on. There's another option you could have had for like another prompt.
Yeah, like give us some like you could give him like, oh, I like the classics, and then you go, oh, I like contemporary, and then he could have an option where it's like, I read like newspaper comic strips or something like that. Manga.
I read manga, yes.
I wonder quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. At least she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. That can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. What about you, Yuri? Let's see. Yuri traces around her teacup with her finger. My favorite's usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Oh, she's a Tolkienian. She loves Tolkien then.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up, finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
All right, Professor.
All right.
Gun to your head time. Tolkien or C.S. Lewis?
See, that hinges a little bit based on the mood I'm in part because, like, Tolkien has, like, a more old-school style of writing. I heard someone's, like, you read Tolkien and you see something that's almost in, like, the poetry style of Beowulf, where everyone is grandiose. Like, all these characters are huge because they, like, when they introduce themselves, they have to not only say their own name, but the last 3 generations of their familial line. And, like, really, like, everything is kind of a show, and the characters will just randomly break out into song. So it's very showy. It's very old school, very classic. Whereas C.S. Lewis focused more on being very thoughtfully punchy, and he likes to cut to the quick. And he's like, haha, I have set this up, and now you have fallen into my tarp. And it's just like, dang, like these are both very different but very fascinating styles of writing. And it's really hard to pick because, again, that'll hinge a great deal on what mood I'm in at the time. I will say C.S. Lewis's works are more briskly paced. Tolkien's tend to be a little bit more sluggish. And I will say, like, one of the funniest things about the movies that I got to explain to my sister is at the very start of Fellowship of the Ring, where Gandalf leaves and does some research and comes back. Like, in the movie, it looks like he was gone maybe like a month or a couple of weeks. He was gone for like decades. Actual, honest-to-God decades before he came back for Frodo.
Yeah, it was like 17 years.
Like, it had been a while.
Which is supposed to be where the upcoming movie that they're doing is supposed to be. It's supposed to be in that period, which I don't think is the right choice.
No,
I have a suggestion for you,
all right,
Professor. If you like C.S. Lewis, you owe it to yourself to read his Space Trilogy. It is very weird.
That is a good idea. She seems so reserved and timid since the one I walked in. It's obvious. No, I read that one. But I like a lot of things. The stories of deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. The irony. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination and completely throw you for a loop? Yeah, okay, you're getting a little on the nose there, Yuri. Chill. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I just grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But the story makes me think, or
I read a horror book once.
I read.
It was called "There's a monster at the end of this book."
It was super scary when I was 2 years old. But if a story makes me think or takes it to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Why is that? Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you should like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Give that back. Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. So he sidles up by Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems. I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. True form of writing is writing to oneself. Is he willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart? Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you'll set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable enough to share hers. ... Guess it's the same for Yuri. Well, I wanted to read everyone's poems. You'll sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone's even. Yeah, let's do it! Last time we have a new member, I think it'll help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Snek? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join the club. Sorry, may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Snek. Well, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Siri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment.
So good.
If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed.
Oh, I just realized something.
What's that?
We're kind of looking at a teen girl squad here. This is even darker if you notice.
That makes it funnier, given what happens to the Teen Girl Squad every episode, or almost every episode.
I look so good.
It's over. My face feels seaworthy. Chomp, chomp.
Blinding void.
Ow, my tan lines. That makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Snek, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. I make YouTube videos, and people really only watch if it's related to Metabots, life sims, or fat women. So make of that what you will. Yeah.
Well, I guess what you need to do, Snek, is you need to learn coding, and then you need to make a life sim about robotic fat women.
I am hard-pressed to argue. Technically that already exists, but it's a Korean gacha game.
Them learning to love.
It's a fair cop. I really impressed the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills. I feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Snek, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sierra and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, 2 of us depart the club room and make our way home. And the whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 4 girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right, that's going to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. Guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh, I bet it will, Snek. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most.
I hate to say that my favorite is not amongst this group.
Yeah, it's very interesting, is it not?
I like the chibis. That's very cute.
They are.
They're animated is also very cute.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will move around if we,
They move around a little bit, but they might be confined to a certain area.
Well, I was thinking if they I don't know if you certain games, if you're doing something like this and you in order to kind of give you a little bit of pity, will have them move or do something if you are like, oh, I'm going to do the cute thing, and then Natsuki would move or something, that sort of thing.
I mean, that's possible.
So we're going for Yuri soon.
Yes.
So she likes fantasy, and she likes fantasy, she likes horror, she likes sweeping fantasy. Oh, Professor, you might not be aware of this.
What's that?
There is a Jethro Tull song that reminds me of Yuri.
Okay.
It's called Pussy Willow. The entire thing is about this young woman who gets swept up into fantasy daydreams of being a fairy princess, being going off to fantastical worlds, encountering dashing knights, seeing wondrous things, but then she is forced by reality, by her train, by her boss, by her mother, to return to reality, which she desperately wants to be in this fantasy of romance, of wonder, of fulfillment. It really is like a biting satire and indictment of modernity that we don't really have purpose or joy in our lives anymore. So that just it seems really to my mind to really speak to kind of a yearning that I'm noticing that Yuri has. So,
I definitely get that.
Now, nightgown. Peaceful nightgown inferno.
Sounds like a bad name.
Wow. I'm the bassist on Peaceful Nightgown Inferno.
What type of band are you?
Yeah, we're ska.
Oh. Yeah, that checks out.
You want to hear our cover of Revolution?
Funny enough, the Rave Master video has actually been getting some attention recently. At least 3 comments have come up on it in the last week. People are crying out for GameCube party games, I guess.
Rave Master is good.
It is. It is. Something Yuri would like. The word that stands out to me is probably alone. Because, she's been on a big horror kick. You can't have, playing a horror game by yourself is a horror experience. Playing a horror game with friends is a comedy. Now, I'm feeling like Cheer and Rainbow are for Natsuki. Cute, pretty things. And Sayori would probably sound like something like peaceful.
Yeah, I agree. Personally, strictly speaking, I mean, I'm not really much of a poet. My personal writings kind of veer into the maudlin sometimes. The professor can tell you about that one.
Sometimes.
You know, I've never actually just tried my hand at poetry. I mean, apart from at school. It just never interested me. I'm more of a prose man myself.
I tried a little bit, but it doesn't come naturally to me. That's right. Alone.
Which is funny because, like, people apparently say that my lyric writing is pretty good, actually. Everyone seems to love Maiden by the River, which just confuses me.
Which is funny because it's a fictional song that the Lone Ranger took and made into an actual song.
I was about to say, it's not fictional anymore.
Nope, it's real now. See, that was really interesting. When I clicked alone, Sayori jumped twice, and that hasn't been an animation we've seen during the idle bits.
That's like exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna give us. Yeah, I think you're spot on. I'm gonna go with treasure.
That makes sense.
Sayori's...
I mean, treasure is kind of a neutral term, though.
I mean, it is. That can be used in any kind of context. I mean, I'm just winging this. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Hold on. Hold on. An awful travesty has happened to me, Professor.
What's that?
I ran out of coffee.
Oh, that's no good. Why don't you go refill and I'll pick out the rest of the words.
No. I'm in the process of doing it right now. You see, I have the beauty of a Bluetooth headset, so I'm actually in another room. Let me walk back over.
Do prayer. I think only Sayori animates during this bit, but...
No, Professor. No, we can't do that girl next door. Don't you know that's the worst option?
I mean, it is. Judgment. Oh, that made Yuri jump. Okay, I've just been picking Sayori words, apparently, but I've really been trying to pick ones that Yuri likes. Tragedy.
Judgment.
Yeah, Judgment
Tragedy.
made Yuri jump.
Tragedy probably would.
Sayori?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
What? Oh, Eternity. That's a good one.
Yeah, okay.
Ah.
There we go. Destiny, Infinite.
Ooh. Oh, Infinite. Oh, those are both good ones.
I'm gonna try Destiny. Alright.
Okay, Doki Doki is definitely going to be Natsuki.
Yeah.
Rose. Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, Rose. Yes. Ah.
Oh, hold on. Can we go back?
No, the rewind function is turned off.
Ah, yeah, you have it. Okay.
It's our first playthrough. It's fine if we make mistakes, because, like...
Oh, fantasy. Fantasy.
Oh, duh.
Fantasy.
What? Natsuki?
What?
Okay.
Adventure? Maybe? Oh, come
Y'all
on.
are making this way harder than it needs to be.
She specifically talked about she likes fantasy.
Yeah.
Noble, maybe? Or no, it's Snibble.
Snibble. Essence or
Grief?
waterfall, maybe? Nature themes?
I would say Grief.
Sayori, why?
Oh, Imagination? No.
Oh, okay. That seems good. Trials of broken cry, passion, scars, ocean, parfait, marriage.
I would say Marriage.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I did marriage and Sayori jumped.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was-
Unending. Effulgent. That's a word you don't hear very often.
Really dusting off the SAT vocabulary.
Yeah.
What is Effulgent, actually? Let's find out. We're learning things today, ladies and gentlemen. Shining brightly and radiant. So, I would say probably not effulgent. I would say rain cloud. What?
It seems like Sayori likes nature themes. That's the vibe I'm getting here.
Misfortune? Or
I'm thinking
Journey?
I'm thinking Journey. All right, that was good.
She likes AOR bands from the 1980s. Good choice.
Analysis. I can see these.
Intellectual?
That's what I'm thinking. I can see this going anyway, though. All right. Fireflies, swimsuits, hope.
Oh, Heaven Sent. I'm pretty sure this is...
Yeah, that one seems very spot on. Extraordinary.
Oh, Melancholy. Melancholy.
All right. Together, determination. Determination's not a bad pick. Vivid.
I mean, I really would wish that, you know, it wasn't co-opted by that game that will not be named.
I don't care enough to spend the mental energy to even concern myself with that game.
There you go.
Okay.
And everyone's going to be wondering, it's like, what are you talking about? It's like, it's all right. You had to have been
Doesn't
there.
matter anymore. The dark times are behind us.
Be like Harry Ord universe.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you I think we did it.
We kind of have it split between Sayori and Yuri. I think we only got Natsuki like once, but that was shockingly more challenging than I was expecting.
Yeah. But then again, that was probably the fact that, like, I think we misconstrued a lot of things, like, because I was thinking, like, our you know, Yuri seems to be kind of the... I get the sense that she likes gothic, depressing things, and that she would really enjoy Edgar Allan Poe.
Right. I get that. Hi again, Snek.
Which, honestly, I'm just saying, Edgar Allan Poe, really good writer. He actually wrote basically the precursors to modern fantasy and horror.
Yep.
So,
And interestingly enough, you get ones... People always associate him like, oh, everything's depressing and dark, but it's like, you've read The Pit and the Pendulum. It's actually a very Christian story about being saved at the last second, so...
and I mean, Murder of the Rue Morgue, literally the very first murder mystery.
Yep.
And also a locked room mystery, and also the very first, you know, what is this monkey doing? Spoilers to a nearly 200-year story.
One of my personal favorites is The Telltale Heart, because it's such great but very simple and evocative psychological horror. Glad to see you didn't right away on us. Nah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was going to say, if you like Edgar Allan Poe, like, you know, Strange View, Alan Parsons Project.
Hmm.
One Poe called Tales of Mystery and Imagination. It's really good. I really like it.
All
Really
right.
cool stuff. You like 80s synth pop.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for
Don't
you,
worry about it.
but I at least keep my word. I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Snek. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. But come on, like he deserves any slack. Sarah told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. Whether you plan to just come here and hang out or what. If you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone that keeps your manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature!
All right, Professor, we need you to weigh in. Is manga literature?
I'm going to leave that to the comment section. But I will tell you, there was,
Here, folks. Comment down below on what you believe.
Is manga literature? Let us know. Or comics, like in general, like comics at large. Are they literature?
Western comics?
So?
No. No.
Now, I will tell you a funny story.
Kick somebody off. Oh,
I had one of those English professors when I was in college. She was that type, and you'll know exactly what I mean when I explain. She believed that quote-unquote literature is basically limited to a couple drunk communists between 1920 and 1960 and literally nothing else. And she was the type of, oh, the great American novel, and so on and so forth, and other such dreck. And it was absolutely one of the most asinine experiences of my limited experiences in academia. And she was kind of part of the reason why I think modern academia is kind of a joke.
No, that's not unusual, especially in literature and English composition. It's kind of the problem, the reason why you kind of get to like the high school, and then a lot of people just kind of tune out of reading. It's because what do you read? You're supposed to read The Grapes of Wrath. You're supposed to read, a bunch of Shakespeare, not like the funny Shakespeare.
Not the good
reading,
stuff,
like
the really dry stuff.
Romeo and Juliet. You read The Tempest. You read Macbeth. The Old Man in the Sea. Not, things that other people were writing at that point that are interesting and, meant to entertain. It's stuff like, the Who Killed the Mockingbird? Go Tell a Watchman. These books that really, honestly, The Catcher in the Rye, books that, are trying to say something, but are like just so dreadful, so rambly, and they're so preachy, and they're just not fun to read.
No, they're not. They're incredibly dry and like you said, preachy, I think is the best word for them. Like, I had a high school English teacher who was obsessed with Of Mice and Men, and I read through it and I was like, this is genuinely one of the most dreadful pieces of something that I've ever been subjected to, and I hate it. So thanks for that. And then I had a college professor who was obsessed with The Great Gatsby. You want to talk about a book where nothing happens, the entire freaking story, look no further.
Oh, things happen. It's depressing, and it's about, it's like weird and semi-autobiographical, but it's
But like, that's the kind of like situation that students are oftentimes subjected to, and then like, oh, why aren't they reading? It's like, well, because you're making them read this. Like, you never once. And I had an entire English class dedicated to the works of Shakespeare, and it was exactly the ones that you just prattled off. It's like, we've never touched Comedy of Errors. We didn't even do Midsummer Night's Dream. We skipped over that one.
You can't do. Well, see, the funny thing is, I don't think that they would even touch the ones that I read when I was younger. See, I read A Merchant of Venice.
Right.
And, well, I'm going to let the Jimmy Jimmys and Fat Sally Sallys go into why they're probably not allowed to read that one anymore. And the funny thing is like reevaluating a lot of them, like Shakespeare is a really, really good author.
Absolutely.
He's a very astute, study of the human condition. And it's understandable why a lot of things from his plays are just kind of like in the vernacular now. The problem being, though, is like you read them in the original Elizabethan English. I can speak, I promise. And without the lingo, the lexicon, it's just impenetrable. So,
there's definitely that.
Which is why, the entire thing of, oh, do you bite your thumb at me, sir? No, I bite my thumb, sir, but I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. And it's like, Okay, but without context, you're like, why are these people biting their thumbs at each other? And it literally is, hey, you talking to me? I'm talking, but I'm not talking to you, friend. Oh, you better put away that attitude, buddy. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know why I turned to, lower class guys and the guys from Jersey, but, that happened.
It worked somehow.
Yes.
Jeez. Yeah, it's like I think that's kind of the problem, though. Like, kids get turned off from literature because of the extreme narrow definitions that people put upon it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, and even if you're talking about literature from those eras, and see, the thing that I really dislike is the entire conception of genre literature. Genre, which is basically boils down to, like, literature that I don't like. Because if it's literature that they like, then they create new categories which are quote-unquote acceptable. Like, oh, I don't listen because we don't technically read anymore. I don't listen to science fiction or fantasy. I listen to magical realism. What's the difference? Magical realism is deep and nuanced.
It is not, in fact, deep and nuanced.
Seller list. No, it's not. It's just pretentious and kind of up its own butt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can I even say that? Up its own patookus?
At this point, I don't think YouTube's checking anymore. You're fine.
It's pretentious and it's like self-important, and it's not trying to tell a good story. It's trying to make a point. And once again, it's kind of preachy. Not my favorite. Every single time when I was younger, I had a young lady that I was interested in, and she's like, oh, Ditaku, you like reading? Here, you should read magical realism. You would enjoy this. Narrator, Ditaku did not, in fact, actually enjoy this. It was not fun. No, I completely understand what you're saying, and I think it's unfortunate because there are a lot of authors from that period that are good that I think people would like. Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, Aldous Huxley. I think they all are really good. The problem is that they are not, writing depressing stories about the travails of American Midwest. They're writing stories about cool things that people like robots or the future, or robots in the future.
As you should. Swiftly defeated, Netsky plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Snek always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He lets me busy work without me even asking. It's like cooking.
So what you're saying is we're easily distracted.
We are very easily distracted and very easy to manipulate. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is messy. So messy, it's distracting. You almost set your house on fire once. Is that so?
Oh, Sayori. Oh, no. You need to fix that.
It's like a deadly premonition when you go to Emily's house and there's just like this enormous scorch mark going up the wall. And then you learn that she did it while attempting to make macaroni and cheese. And you're just like,
so depressing. That's even more depressing, man. Why is everything, Suda, why? I love your work. Why are you so depressing? Everything you write is depressing.
Yeah. You're really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Snek can become good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, Wait, Sayori... Me? Not really? Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, and so any nice gesture from you was a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. All right.
Nice save, Game Snack. Nice save.
You rescued the situation. I would not have the social wherewithal to pull that off, so... Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know...
Pop on pop. Wow.
Wow, this book is almost the right length for my attention span.
It's right on my level.
Discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Harry, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Now you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It's like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out? I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused on it, I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have two copies of the same book? Ah, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. You are a terrible liar. Something fairly obvious
Actually,
here that
I
Yuri
have
isn't.
done that before. I have done that before. It's embarrassing. But it's what happens when you go to the bookstore as often as I do, and you're like, oh, great, this is a series I like, and then I come home and I'm like,
Whoops.
oh. Yes.
There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right.
Maybe we should escape from Markov.
I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. While her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? You're gonna be telling us it's gonna be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
You know, it's written by Dr. Shotaro Ishinomori, huh?
Not enough cyborgs for it to be a Ishinomori production.
No. See, they brought up human research, so
Oh,
clearly
that's
it's...
true. You got me there. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. You're not a fan of that sort of thing, Snek. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, so look how Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. Just like those kinds of stories, they're challenging you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, there may not be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plan. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. Huh. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What do you say? Just moments ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get to the book. Feel free to retrieve the book I put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I step in the seat next to Yuri's. Ah, yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. Open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. See if I can feel her presence over my shoulders as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. Oh, she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... I've actually met the type. I'm familiar with it. Here, this should work, right?
Me.
Most of the Tomo Bros are kind of prone to that, actually. Comes when you're used to being an autistic weirdo not understood by people at large. You learn to apologize for who you are, and when you get into good company, when people who are used to you, it becomes a lot more natural, but it's also still a bit of a habit hanging on. So you're just like, oh hey, sorry about that. And they're like, bro, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. I slide my desk up against Yuri's, then I hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. My left arm's in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. So if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry, I think I got a bit distracted for a second. It's over Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah? Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. So I just assume she's finished the page before me, so I just turned it of my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Snek, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant that it's kind of cute. Ah, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We won't have enough time if we wait too long. Ah. Yuri exhales, feared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. No, it's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. Guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? It's a good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and set it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers on a composition notebook. I see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Oh, we actually have a choice. So, as is tradition, save. Well, obviously we're going to pick Yuri, because that's, you know, who we're into. Yuri seems most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yours covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Eh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? I'm not going to tell you that, because we wrote Amazing Quest. Let's do that. You use some imagery and
Snek has
metaphor.
actually published books before. Let's just say that.
Technically. The use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? That's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? He stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Oh, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. Traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thoughts, if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes down to practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Not going to be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. Not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Now that I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light, the tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. Sorry, I have such terrible hand... What? I can actually read your handwriting. My handwriting is garbage. Thing is, handwriting is genetic for the most part, and I lose both ways. What?
You'll heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true. My parents have terrible handwriting, and mine's even more garbage as a result. I wasn't thinking that at all. It took you a long time to read. I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I should write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Snek. Really. I totally missed the point. No, I suppose you only did glance out over it, after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. You should do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive, too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Huh. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. In the end, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Snek. Ah, me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Alright, Itaku, I made the first call, so who do we show next?
Monica.
Alright.
I'm sorry if this, causes your waifu to get killed.
We both know that's an inevitability already. Hi, Snek. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Snek. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Snek. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. That's the, King Napa approach. You make everyone think you're an idiot until the chips are down, and then all of a sudden you bust out your best.
Man, no one's gonna get that.
My analytics say no one's watching anyway, so I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of
Except
imagery.
For, those VN developers. Like,
who all seem to know each other inexplicably.
Yes.
I'm talking about you, Grayest and Matty D. Yeah, I'm calling you out. No, I'm kidding.
Good. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri writes like the readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of its nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. Never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level, though. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing.
Now that you pointed it out, it's very, very, it's very clear. Everyone else is, looking off to our left.
Everyone's a little bit askance one direction or another, and Monica is looking at you head on.
Yes.
Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident someone who claims to be not very good. That's because I like to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole that wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in.
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes
foreshadowing can be relatively obvious.
Yes.
What do you think? It's very
Once
freeform.
again, it's
That's
just
what
kind
you
of
call it.
Yeah. I suppose this is one of those situations where it's like if you know what to look for, it's fairly obvious.
But if you somehow manage to get to this point without knowing any of it ahead of time, like it's actually relatively subtle, because a poem can mean anything. It's kind of open to interpretation. You're allowed to poke at it and kind of feel your way through it on your own.
Yeah, but clearly, I mean, the entire point about I didn't do it is, I'm looking into the hole, and then I realize
I'm not looking in, I'm looking
hole,
out.
and they're looking in at me, looking out. Yeah, so I mean, come on. Really?
Yeah, I was about to say it's not subtle. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
I don't want to, belittle the
No.
Because, I mean, it's like, it's like us reading Soil and Grate and already knowing that, it's people, the actual novel. Or, To Serve Man and knowing, what does this all mean? It's a cookbook. I mean, yeah, we already know the twist, so we've kind of been spoiled for the entire suspense of what's about to happen.
Yes, but I don't think that undermines its impact. I saw Soylent Green probably in my 20s, so I was well aware of what the twist was, but the build-up and the execution was so evocative that I still kind of had an emotional reaction to it. So, like, they can still do something pretty incredible with the right setup. And given that I already feel feels towards Yuri, it's like, yeah, this is going to hurt me a lot when it comes down to it.
Man, what was it about the 1970s and just having like the worst, most depressing, like apocalypse movies?
They were ahead of the time.
Clearly.
It's okay. That kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway.
An epiphany. I just turned 90 degrees and I'm like, wait a second. Who's that over there? Why are they staring at me?
How long have you been there?
Hello.
Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Oh man, I feel called out.
I was about to say, she called you out hard, bro. All right,
trying. I want to do good things for my reader, and so I try to make things perfect. That's my rationale.
Because you're a Tomo, bro, and perfectionism is what kills us all.
Well, see, the thing is like I am like, man, I'm never going to be as good as Michael Moorcock or Frank Herbert or any of the authors that I, little Otaku read when he was younger and was like, wow, these worlds are really interesting.
You remind me of a comic strip I saw. It was a painter working on a canvas, and he's like, man, I'll never be as good as the old masters. And it cuts back hundreds and hundreds of years, and there's an older painter standing at a canvas, and he's like, I will never be as great as the old masters. And it goes back even further. It's like, I'll never be as great as the old masters. It shows a caveman doing a cave painting, and he's like, I am the best.
I've seen that. It is, yes. Yeah, it do be like that, though. I mean, you do know Leonardo da Vinci's final words, right?
Yes, the very haunting phrase of, I am a failure, my works have fallen short of the glory of God.
Yes.
Which is a terrifying thing for someone like Leonardo da Vinci to say.
Imposter syndrome haunts us all. That's what I take out of it.
Yeah, definitely. This is a good poem, Snek. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who'll be writing poems in his spare time? Yeah, guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. To be honest, I was afraid you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. This reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. Not really into it yet. That doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Snek. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, That's a lie. Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. Not sure Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all.
I mean, it's a transactional thing. They get, Snek-made poems delivered straight to them, and you get baked goods and female attention.
That's true. There is a transaction happening here. I'm going to show you lots of fun here, okay? That's my way of thinking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like fluffy kitties. Oh, it's like, oh, that's Natsuki.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad, I want breakfast. Oh, hashtag relatable. Though it should really be punctuated with, I want coffee.
But I'm not mad. I go ask your dad.
I want coffee. Sayori. This is just a guess,
but I'm not Sir Lee. I want coffee.
Did you wait till this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. At least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, this kind of cements in my mind that she loves nature and nature themes, which, I mean, makes sense. Honestly, one of the things I think is kind of lost in American haiku study is the fact that it's supposed to be about nature and seasonal themes.
Right.
So...
yeah, makes sense.
Or you could be like Snek and just end every one with Nozomi River.
Nozomi River. Yes.
Wasn't it a...
That's a gag from Nichijou, yes. She was standing in the hallway because she got in trouble for being late to class. So her way of passing the time was attempting to write haikus in her head, and she could never think of a third line, so she would punctuate it with Nozomi River because it was the right level of syllables.
For those of you who are not aware, it's 676.
Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. Also, making eggs and toast takes like 3 minutes. It's like no time at all.
It depends on how you make your eggs.
Well, that's true. If you're doing something fancy, yeah, it can take a little more time. But if you're doing like scrambled or something, it really shouldn't take but a moment.
I mean... in that instance, what you should do is you should fry your eggs and then put them between the toast as a sandwich.
That's an idea. That could be great for an I'm late toast.
Yes.
Also, I must say, I gotta say, the omelet is infinitely customizable. If you have any kind of leftovers that isn't basically soup, you could put it in an omelet and turn it into a breakfast meal.
Anime heroines, why you know egg sandwich?
Yeah, seriously, you're missing out on protein, which is way more important than carbohydrates. So, just saying. I get all cranky. I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
Oh, I mean, I am exactly the same. I am exactly the same, Sayuri. If I don't eat breakfast, I get hangry, so...
This is true facts. You see, the strategy that we employed when Jitaku and I were roomies is we would always have coffee, and we would always have something for breakfast.
What are you talking about? I always got up earlier because I was always the one who had to open at my store.
No, I mean...
so I was always leaving at like 6 in the morning.
No, I know,
not
I'm
even
just
6,
saying.
like
I'm saying we had to stay stocked. We had to keep coffee on hand.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, we did.
We prepped ahead of time. That was the secret.
We did, yes.
This is so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. Next time, I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever. I guess I'll look forward to it.
Hooray.
Now we're down to worst waifu.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure you know what's going to happen is she's going to say something and you're going to be like, Snek, or Jitaku. Snek. Yeah, Snek. Talking to myself now. This is how, much I'm reeling now.
You see, it's not just talking to yourself. It's seeking expert counsel.
Other Snek, I'm having an emotional moment. Is your heart going doki doki? I think it is.
Snek, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What?
Bro, goes doki doki.
What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? You think I'm stupid. I'm not a writer. We
actually did put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, that was actually more struggle than you might expect. It's not very good, but yeah, I put in effort. I'll start somewhere, right? And if you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Sorry. You'll get better anyway. So I literally only had one answer that she reacted to. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. At least your own, I guess. Guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, you're not exactly wowing me here. Yeah. Told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. But, just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what she's trying to say, and I agree. I mean, this is going to be, probably have you roll your eyes, but, much as I enjoy, deep maudlin conversations about the nature of reality and, existence and what is goodness, I also, in my own writing, try to be entertaining to the reader, because ultimately that's the point of writing, is to make something that people want to read. So,
yeah,
I
makes
get
perfect sense to me.
And, her conversational style and being very blunt. And, honestly, it's like, if you think about it, all those things are things that are intrinsic to those animals. Eagles can fly. I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
People can try. I mean, intrinsically, that's what humans must do. We must try. We must make effort.
Yeah.
There's something deep and nuanced to that. So.
Yeah, absolutely fair.
That's about it. I mean, yeah. I mean, that is it. That is.
We're subject to our own base nature, and some elements of it are immutable.
Yep, exactly. So I think she's touching on a deep truth, and she's, trying to, shore up her own emotional insecurities by being brusque.
There's also that. There's probably a certain level of bluntness that she's using as a bit of a shield.
Yes.
I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard.
I don't think that a soft, soft romantic soul that loves kittens and fuzzy animals is, going to be a bad person.
Probably not. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. The other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight into the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did?
Oh, okay, Natsuki, you're losing me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to gas you up, and you're like, but I failed my rhyme on. It's like, okay.
All right, let's not get carried away now, kid. That's what more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Glad you learned something. Didn't expect us to be the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. No, I guess Ditaku theory was wrong. She is the youngest one here.
Rat.
Decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is. But if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that from her.
I mean, I don't know. I'm so used to, like, I subverted your expectations. So.
I don't know where it's from. I saw it out of context on Twitter, and it was some anime, and the joke was that, like, the main character kept getting introduced to these, like, really exaggerated stereotypes, where, like, one of them was, like, the pro hacker, but he was in elementary school, and then there was, like, the rich Shoujo-sama archetype, but the whole thing was that it turned out her family was actually super poor, and she was actually just a snob. And it was like, no, this is all too unrealistic. Life isn't like this. If I can find it again, I will share. But
I mean, you got me in Tregwade, as the kids of the youth may say.
Indeed, that's everyone.
Be sure to show it to me.
I shall if I find it again. Advance around the room. It was a little more stressful than I had anticipated.
You know what it probably was.
What's that?
It probably was, Professor. Now that I think about it, you remember Conception?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one petite girl who was actually 17. That's probably where it came from.
Probably.
And you
I could
look
see
at her
that.
and you're like, oh, you're like a middle schooler. And she's like, I'm older than you are. And you're like, oh.
Whoops. Whoops.
And actually, it's really funny because she actually has an older sister that she looks up to. And she's like, I want to just be like my older sister. And yet she's, got everything. She's got the perfect look. She's got the talent. She's got everything. And so, you think that this snooty third year is like just being tsundere for being tsundere, but it turns out that she's like just riddled with insecurities, and her talent is actually just her working what took us off. And I'm like, I was not prepared to feel these feelings for a silly dungeon crawler game.
Everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing ability. Even if they're just being nice, as knowing my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all.
It's like me, for me, FR, you talking.
I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. Mayasa and Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read them in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. Snek did too. Guess I'm not glad to give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Snek liked my poem too, He even told me he was impressed by it.
Wow.
Natsuki suddenly... Oh no. Our ship is sunk.
Oh no.
This is the day we die. Oh.
This is going to be, it's that situation in Rune Factory again. Snek, tell us, which one of us is better? I have 3 remaining transformations.
I didn't realize you're so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Snek appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. I know he didn't appreciate my advice more. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I'd deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? You know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Snek started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Snek, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. She can get over herself and let me appreciate that simple writing is more effective. Then that wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poem all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Actually, I think it can be either way, depending on what your intentions as the writer are. Both of these are perfectly valid approaches.
Oh no, it is happening. It's abandon ship, Professor. Abandon ship.
Pull the handbrake. All I can do. The only choice I have is to... Looks like I'm gonna have to jump.
Looks like we're gonna have to eject. Yes.
Help me explain this to her, Snek. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Snek? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. Whoever I agree with will probably think more highly of me. Let's go ahead and save, as is my want. But I have no choice, so... Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. It's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. You kidding?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I did.
I don't think Yuri has a mean bone in her body. I don't think any of you,
Well, let's not get too carried away here. Yuri and Natsuki are not deliberately evil or antagonistic people.
No.
And I think a lot of it is, honestly, a lot of it's Natsuki being very insecure. And like I said, like both writing styles are perfectly valid.
Yeah, it's kind of clear that that's her character arc, which, I mean, understandable, shall we say.
Yeah.
I am masking deep insecurities by being aggressive. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah. It's like, that will only get you so far. You can only girl boss so close to the sun. And then after a while, people will start finding you insufferable and not want to deal with you anymore.
It was then that Clytemnestra smiled as she fell to the sea, for she girl bossed that hard.
That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized, don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody's taking her side. She's trapped at this point of being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps take a walk and clear my head. Yuri, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. You'll start to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatched her up her own poem from her desk and storms out. On her way up, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki.
Oh no.
She really didn't need to do that.
Oh no.
I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands.
Leave. Shouldn't leave. Natsuki, shouldn't leave. Oh no. This is not gonna end well.
Yuri has her chin buried in her hands as she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. Can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri! Could anyone not have gotten frustrated at being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Snek, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of the club now. It's nothing. One more thing. The one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Never mind that. I'm gonna make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How'd y'all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, mostly. Snek, what about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can do a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I thought to myself with newfound determination. Snek, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. Truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? Between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. Snek, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but Does it really need to stop there? Well, let's have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to do Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Now, as a matter of course, let's save and take a crack at this.